simple, but I think, yes, he can, because he is much more stronger than Putin. He's stronger. United States stronger.
In the meantime, the Russians keep pounding Ukraine from the air. The U.S. Embassy in Kyiv was also closed today after receiving a warning of a potentially significant Russian attack. And joining us now to discuss the impact is Professor Stephen Caliendo with North Central College.
Thanks for being with us, Professor. I want to get right into this. Earlier this week, Russia launched its biggest aerial attack, and now the Biden administration is allowing long-range missiles. Is this a new escalation?
There's no question it's a new escalation, and it's also, I don't think, a coincidence that it happened after the election results were made final. This is something that the Biden administration could have decided to do some time ago. President Zelensky's been asking for more aid and more aggressive aid packages. I think there is concern probably on President Zelensky's part, although I don't expect that he would say so publicly, but certainly on the part of the Biden administration, that the incoming administration is not going to be as supportive. And in fact, while they may want to end the war, it would be at the cost of some Ukrainian territory.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Once President Trump takes office, do we expect U.S. support for Ukraine will soften? Will there be a difference? And will it come down to Ukraine, as you said, giving up land?
If I remember correctly, Sylvia, I think President Trump said that he would have the war ended in Ukraine before he even took office, before January 20th. And so he may be starting to work on that now. That may be something, but the one way to do that, of course, is to get the Ukrainians to just stop fighting and to cede the territory that the Russians have already taken from them without provocation, I would add. And so that's not going to be a satisfactory ending for President Zelensky, certainly not for the Ukrainians. And so if that's the way he thinks he's going to end the war, I think he's going to have a hard time coming up with negotiations to solidify it that way. Remember, there's going to be a House and a Senate that are both very supportive of President Trump's policies. And there's a lot of folks in there, a lot of Republicans who don't want to send aid to Ukraine anymore.
And I mean, Russia has said it's prepared to discuss a potential ceasefire in Ukraine with Trump. But, a lot can happen between now and when he takes office. I know his team, his transition team, has been meeting with world leaders. Do you expect to see any negotiations taking place before that with the president-elect?
I do expect that. I mean, look, the president promised that. I remember in 2016, before he took office in 2017, there was a lot of work being done, not just in terms of briefings, but in terms of communication with foreign leaders. Nothing as monumental as ending a 1,000-day war, but that was the promise. And so I wouldn't be surprised if President Trump tries to talk to President Zelensky. But again, he's not going to talk President Putin into backing out. That would have happened already. And so if the end of the war means that Russia gets to keep some of the land that they've taken, I just think that's going to be a hard pill for the Ukrainians to swallow.
All right, Stephen Caliendo, we appreciate you joining us as always and breaking this down for us. Have a good evening.
Have a great night.